Hey guys, Caleb with White Metal Games here. Today's video is about this Seraphon or Lizardman display board for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar 8th edition campaign ranges. It's a skirmish game set in a fantasy world, and this display board was designed for a client that wanted to display his Electrum/gold level army in all of its glory. So let's just jump right in. First off, in terms of the size of the army, it's definitely a sizable army with 4 of the larger models: the Carnosaur, the Troglodyte, the Stegodon, and the Bastiladon. In addition to that, you've got 4 units of Skinks led by 2 Kroxigor handlers, 2 units of Saurus warriors on these battlements, and then a unit of Temple Guard supporting a Slann mage priest. So it's just a massive, massive display board and an army to boot. I think in terms of game, it's probably around 2,000 points or so, maybe 2,500. The display board only has a 2 by 2 foot footprint, which is our standard size for display boards, but it actually is almost 2 feet tall when you consider these trees that kind of line the back of the board, giving a sense of scale. When we wanted to do the Jungles of Lustria, we wanted just a massive display. When you think about a city where dinosaurs are beasts of burden, you need big stones, big ziggurats, big arches to support these guys. The city streets need to allow for these kind of things to walk around. Steps need to be bigger, streets need to be wider, temples need to be larger, and the ziggurat needs to just be massive. So you can see here that sitting at the top of the ziggurat, this is absolutely what you would think of as a Lizardman city. Just massive, tall, heaping, and old. One of the neat things about this project is that a lot of the colors were kept to a minimalistic to maximize the colors we wanted to emphasize. For example, the golds on this project were given incredible attention to detail and a lot of love. Even on the smaller models, you can see here that these these skinks rather, their spears and the jade shafts that they use to wield them have been given a lot of attention. And that kind of attention to detail is what you kind of get on these sorts of projects where we want the colors to all ring true. We want them to all look nice together. We're calling this color scheme White Snake, and it's because of a model that GW did as kind of an albino Lizardman that we wanted to sort of carry through on the project and just do across the entire range. Here's a really nice look at the golds. You can see here that we've really taken some time to emboss them and to really just make them stand out, especially up here on this banner. You can see that that's a lot of different highlights and shading to create that nice, really lustrous gold that just looks so good and so smooth. Those transitions are just nice. And then on the natural coloration you see here, every color has been paid attention to. The reds are kind of a moot red, so it doesn't take away from the overall effect. The white stones you see here on the ziggurat are reflected in the white stone basing here on all of the models. And there's a lot of small conversions you probably don't see at first. For example, the Stegodon over here, we've replaced what is traditionally his back piece with this small temple riding on his back, where this skink star priest is making sacrifices to gods of old and Slann star gods. On this Carnosaur over here, it's a little hard to get around. If you look beneath him, you'll see some skinks with blowguns kind of taking pot shots at nearby enemies. And then beneath this model, the Carnosaur over here, you'll actually, if you look really closely, you'll see some Skaven down there. Well, it's hard to see from here, but if I can elevate him just a little bit, you'll see some Skaven there underneath the model, where it's kind of a dead pile of bodies that he's just destroyed. The backstory of this board, the client wanted it to look like a Skaven war had been waged against the Saurus warriors, and that they had lost their city but were now reclaiming their homeland. So you'll see elements of the Skaven all over the board, these little skink tripods and encampments and platforms and that kind of thing, these little Skaven huts, some metal plating that they've kind of haphazardly put on the sides of the temple to kind of make some haphazard repairs. So there's elements of the Skaven temple there, but mostly it's a Seraphon project, and we wanted to show that the Seraphon were reclaiming their birthright. So that's about it. A project like this can be commissioned through us if you want to check out our display board page under White Metal Games /services/display boards. I think it's display and demo boards, but just go to the service tab and you'll see the pull down there. A board like this will run you about $2,500, and it takes about 2 months to fully do. If you do your army with it, we will knock a discount off because, as you can see here, the army is actually slotted into the board. So in this case, these guys are mounted to trays, and the trays are mounted to the board itself. itself. All of those are magnetized so that they're removable. Every model has a home on the board. Every model has its place. So this is really intended for clients that have a good sense of what their army is. And although you can add models to your project later, you're going to be placing them places that are available, like here, or down here. But the traditional project is slotted into the board exactly, so that there's really not a lot of modification. These are for premium clients that are looking to really showcase their project for, let's say, tournaments, or if they want to tour with their project, or really just showcase it in a loving form that they're supposed to. So that's about it for now. Check out more of our work at whitemetalgames.com, or you're always free to email us at info@whitemetalgames.com. And until next time, put your minis where your mouth is.